Welcome everybody to our first of a couple of Halloween episodes. We're doing 4 horror movies to fit the theme of Halloween.
I think perhaps for the next few episodes we should be pumpkins and possibilities.
Oh, we could be Pumpkins and Possibilities.
You heard it here
Yeah.
first, all.
I mean, I do enjoy pumpkin flavor things,
Me
so I
too.
don't know.
Me
Okay.
too.
I do think I will agree with the pumpkin haters that I do think there is way too many pumpkin flavored things.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
slow down. I don't need pumpkin Cheerios. So,
Pumpkin
uh,
Cheerios slap though.
do they?
Well, did you like apple cinnamon Cheerios?
Yes, it's actually
So it's
underrated in my opinion.
I agree
Next to
with you, and
multigrain.
I like multigrain Cheerios also. Um,
There's a certain flavor in the multigrain that just hits. I
hits.
don't
I
know. I don't
agree.
know what it
I
is, but
agree.
yeah.
But no, the pumpkin spice Cheerios, it's the same vibe. It's like cinnamon, nutmeg,
Hmm.
clove, ginger. If you like those type of, flavors, it's
Right.
perfectly wonderful in a Cheerio. I do agree with you. Like, I don't need pumpkin spice flavored candy corn. Quite frankly, I don't need any candy corn ever. Please, no more.
There's so many people who hate it. I don't know. I grew up loving it. My
So,
sister still loves it, but I don't love it so much now, but I would still eat it. It's not like, fuck
so
that, I'm not eating
I
candy corn.
I remember going through a phase where I very much did enjoy candy corn as a kid. And
Mm,
then one year, I don't know, I got like this big glass apothecary jar. I was working at a craft store at the time. So I
okay.
got it for my first apartment as like a decoration to have on the counter. And for some unhinged reason, for Halloween, I filled it with candy corn. And I
Mm.
never, when I tell you, I never want to look at, smell, associate with another piece of candy corn for a day in my life. I'm saying that sincerely because there, I don't know if it was something about how many were in the jar or they sat in the
Mm.
jar too long or I don't know, but never again. Ugh, disgusting.
It's very much a 90s thing, and I don't think it translated into like I don't feel like millennials are calling for it to be saved, but I don't know. I don't mind it. It's not my top tier of candies, but I don't mind it. I don't mind the chocolate one.
Oh
It's
no,
fine.
when you get into the flavored ones, it's even more horrific. Like,
The
oh,
pumpkins.
I hate the pumpkins. The mouthfeel is so bad. Oh, I think what sent me over was caramel apple candy. Oh, I can't even think about it because it was like that sickeningly sweet fake sour apple mixed with
Mm.
like chemical caramel. Oh my goodness. It was one of the worst things I've ever consumed in my life. Oh,
I've never went that far.
oh,
But the chocolate,
don't.
which is really just like it's candy corn, and then the third
The,
tier, the fat part of the tier is a
the
chocolate.
nubbin. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but pumpkin coffee, I think, is the top
I
for
love
me.
pumpkin coffee. Me too.
Yeah.
Pumpkin beer. I do enjoy a good pumpkin beer
Yeah.
in the fall.
Which
Absolutely.
I think Montauk and Ship is it Shipyard or
Shipyard.
Ship? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Those are like my two favorites of the pumpkin
Oh, for
variety.
me, it's Southern Tier's Pumpkin. That is
Okay.
the reigning king of pumpkin beers for me, and it has been for years and years and years. I don't think that'll ever change. But Shipyard's Pumpkinhead is very, very good as well. Montauk's Pumpkin is good. Most pumpkin beers are good. I usually enjoy them, but I don't know. Pumpkin has so much cinnamon and spice in it
Yeah.
that it is second to none for me. It's my all-time favorite.
I don't know. I don't because I used to every year I would go and get like 15 different ones and just like try them.
Try them, yeah.
Yeah. Like back when Fairway used to be open and they would have
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
you make your own 6 pack. Now it's
Yes.
like, yeah, I'm not ripping open 6 packs. I'm not a
Yeah,
savage,
no,
but
thank you.
um there's ones where I think it's focuses too much on the spice and not enough of the pumpkin flavor, and that's where
Sure.
you kind of lose me. especially if it's like high alcohol percentage, which I don't know what this obsession is with like having to make everything 8 or 9%.
Amen, brother.
Like,
Yeah.
let's kind of call it a day here, like, or just
Can
give
we
me a
please go
4 or 5.
yes,
Yeah,
go back to the crushable session ale. What are we doing?
yeah,
Not everything needs to be an imperial IPA, please. It's
right.
too much.
And it's like, even from a brewery standpoint, wouldn't you want people to drink more of your beer? So, like, making it less would help make more sales. I don't know. I don't know the math behind it, but I'm just asking for you to tone it down on the percentage here.
And for the record, because somebody out there is definitely thinking this. Yes, I know pumpkin is an imperial
Yeah.
pumpkin ale, and it is a higher ABV one. I am not saying high ABV beers don't have their place.
Hmm.
Um, but I certainly agree with you that sometimes I just want something crushable, something light. And pumpkin is not light by any stretch of the
Yeah.
imagination.
I mean, they're all
Um,
pretty like
yeah,
heavy, but I'm not throwing a rager or anything. So,
right,
um,
right.
but
Oh
as far as
God,
like the food goes, I think pumpkin like a pumpkin loaf slash pumpkin muffin, because I kind of,
bread.
yeah,
Yeah,
bread,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
I think those are kind of top tier. I like these pumpkin ravioli.
I love pumpkin ravioli as well. I
Uh,
have not met, I don't think, a pumpkin dessert that I haven't enjoyed. Um,
yeah, because that's what
Cookie,
it's meant to
cake,
be. Yeah.
pie, uh, bread, like you said, muffin, anything that is sweet.
Mm.
If you add like pumpkin coffee cake slaps,
Oh yeah, yeah.
pumpkin ice cream
Oh
slaps.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I tend to find that sometimes when you start to put like pumpkin spice popcorn,
Mm. No.
really, I don't really need it in my life.
No.
Now, I know some people are very much into caramel corn or kettle corn. I'm not a sweet popcorn gal. If I'm having popcorn, I like it savory or salty.
Right.
Um, but pumpkin spice has absolutely infiltrated everything, like from fragrances to household cleaners to food stuff and beverage. It is everywhere. Um, and For the most part, I am absolutely here for it, and I can't wait. But I don't necessarily disagree with you that like we don't need to put it in
Every.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says here, according to ChatGPT, in a 52-week period, it generates about $802.5 million in sales. The
Pumpkins.
pumpkin flavored products.
Wow.
So that's why they keep pumping them out, if you're wondering. A hidden gem before
Tell
you
me.
mentioned desserts is, if you have a Stop and Shop, they make Stop and Shop cookies that are like a sandwich, like an Oreo type, but it's two pumpkin cookies with like a cream cheese filling in
Oh
the
my
sandwich, and
gosh.
they are
Oh,
very
that
good.
sounds so good. Like a whoopie pie.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
more like hard, like a cookie. So
Oh,
yeah,
yum.
yeah.
I love a good sandwich cookie.
Mhm.
Um, I'm a sucker for that style of cookie.
Right.
That even like the really fancy like the Italian bakery cookies that have the jam in the middle. If it's a sandwich
Oh yeah.
form, I
Mhm.
love it. I'm all about it. I like a nice jam filling. I
Mhm.
love an Oreo. I
Yes.
could house
What's that?
an entire package of Oreos.
Linzer tarts. Is that what
Oh
the
my gosh, yes,
right?
Linzer tarts. I love them. Yep,
It's funny.
absolutely.
So one of Jill's friends, like, that's like her favorite dessert is that. So
Okay.
it was her birthday a couple weeks ago, and I didn't realize that Linzer tarts is just like a New York thing, because I went to a bakery down over here, and they were like, "What?" And I was like, "A Linzer tart," and they're like, "I don't know what you're talking about," and I'm like, "It's like the raspberry and the cookie." They're like, "No, I don't know," and like I had to like Google images and be like, "This," and they're like, "Oh no, we don't have that." I was like, "Well, this is awkward. I'm just gonna leave now."
I feel like Like black and white cookies are like that too. They're very regionalized. And
Mhm.
if you leave locations where they're popular, people are like, "What the hell is a black and white? What are you talking about?"
Right.
But like I remember going to diners in New York and seeing the big Linzer tarts on
Yeah.
display, and yeah,
And the
that
rainbow cookies, like the
yeah,
rainbow
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
It's a
Oh,
shame,
those
man.
are phenomenal as well. Oh, so good. You know what's so funny is I'm talking, you would think I have the biggest sweet tooth in the world. I really don't.
Mm,
I do love a sweet treat, but when I was younger, I used to be the person who would skip dinner if it meant I could eat dessert. And
okay.
now I'm more inclined to be like, I'd rather get like chips and guacamole or an appetizer at the beginning of the meal and not rush to dessert because I'd rather have the savory. There's something more
Mm,
satiating about it to me. I feel like when I eat dessert or when I eat sweets, I still feel just as hungry as when I started. And there's some, I don't know, compulsion to be like, I need more food that wasn't real food or whatever. Where when I
right.
eat when I eat something savory,
Right.
something clicks different in my brain where it's like, good job, you ate real food. Wonderful.
Good job. You
Um,
ate good food. No, no.
you did good. Well done. Yes. Very strange.
No,
I don't know.
I'm with you on that in the fact that like if I eat something savory, I do need something sweet. Like I have
Okay.
to.
That's
Like I
fair.
need to like counteract it cuz if I eat to take your example a burrito or tacos or something like that, chips and guac, like it's too much on the salt end. So I'm like,
Okay.
I
Okay.
gotta like have something to balance it
I
out.
gotta cut the salt.
Yeah. But the other thing, I had this discussion a couple weeks ago is like, we were so like pre-programmed as kids to be like, if you do this, eat this dinner, you get a
You get a
reward.
dessert. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. You're right. Or it was a punishment like, oh, you can't have dessert if you don't finish your dinner. And like people wonder why our generation has such a disordered relationship with food and with eating. It's like, oh gee, I wonder why that might be. I
Yeah.
don't know. I grew up watching Tyra Banks tell, swizzle stick women they were too heavy to be models. And
God,
I
yeah.
was told, I wasn't allowed to have dessert or, leave the table if I didn't finish my dinner. So I wonder where my weird, things about food come from.
The other thing I wanted to run by you is
Yeah.
we had talked about this a little bit off air, but the LOL is like just such an interesting topic to me, and I know like the listeners like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I just there's no standardized thing about the LOL. So to me, like I always look at it as levels. And now maybe you disagree with me, I don't know. But to me, the lowest form of the laugh is just LOL all lowercase.
All lowercase or like
Yeah.
LOL period at the end. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I
From
agree.
that point, then you go LOL in all caps means that you actually are laughing. And then from there, you go like it's kind of like a mix of LMAO rolling on the floor laughing, which I don't think anybody uses anymore, and then like, which I don't, but I have people who use it, and then you kind of go laughing emojis, whatever. That's kind of like the ranking of how I see it.
Interesting. So I'm going to call this segment context, the
Okay, I like
context
it.
behind texting lingo. So I agree with you. It's almost like when you're talking to somebody about a plan and they just hit you with a K,
Right,
like a
right.
lowercase k, and you're like, are you mad? Do you hate the plan? Do you hate
Hmm.
me? What's going on here? Um, LOL, I have a similar thought to you. The lowercase LOL, especially if it's punctuated with like a period,
Yeah,
that to me means you are completely disinterested in what I've said. You don't think it's funny at all. You just don't know what else to say. Um, Capital LOL, I'm like, oh, you might have chuckled out loud actually at that one.
right, right, right.
LOL with like 12 L's, I'm like, okay, maybe you're really laughing.
You put extra L's,
LMAO,
so there's
yeah,
emphasis in this. Yeah, yeah.
LMAO. no extra O's means funny.
Uh,
LMAO with like 1,000 O's, I'm like, I got him good
yeah.
on that one. Me personally, I am a write out ha 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 person.
Mm, okay.
And my varying degrees are if you just get ha, like HA,
Right.
dud.
Nothing. Yeah.
Didn't even laugh, didn't flinch, nothing. If you get lowercase with multiple ha ha ha's, you done
Mm.
good, kid. If you get capitalized with 1,000 A's at the end, I'm actually
Laughing.
hysterical laughing probably. And I am an emoji person. So if I send like multiple crying laughing emojis, it's funny. Um, so that's kind of my scale on my end. But I am not one to say LOL or LMAO or ROFL or whatever it is.
Did I take you
Which I
back
don't.
with that one?
Yeah, you really did. God, holy Hannah.
To me, LOL, HA is like the same
The same
kind of
thing. Sure,
boat.
sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure.
And to me, it's like it's really utilized to if you say something that you want to make sure the person knows I'm not like completely serious, you throw that on there. It's like the
Yeah, yeah.
anxiety LOL is what I consider it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like yeah, uh, I would say LMAO even I as new as the skeleton emoji I see is like the new one trending.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, for
they're
sure,
dead
for
because it's
sure.
just so funny. But yeah, there
I
are people out here who like I have a few friends where like they'll just do LOL. Like that's it. Like you don't even get LOL LOL, which to me is a chuckle. So I'm like, I don't even know if you thought it was funny, but here we are.
that is one of the rough things about text in
Yeah.
general. I
Right.
I think it's important, like I was trying to be funny, but context really is important, and I think it also matters who you're texting with because you tend to learn and understand the way that person communicates with you. Like I have some people who literally it's okay,
Mhm.
LOL, uh-huh. Like that's just how they are in text. This is not an indication of how they feel about anything. They just the reason they prefer text is because it's quick and because you could just convey like yes, message received and understood or like
Mhm.
ha that was a funny joke or whatever. I am a long-winded texter and I know that. So I have learned that I can't base how I think someone's reacting to my messaging or interpreting my messaging
Right.
necessarily always based on how they text back because everybody's it's kind of
Everybody
like
is
the way
different.
people write or the way, people sign cards or if they write cards.
Right.
People communicate and express feelings and emotions differently.
Mhm.
And text, interestingly enough, is no different than any of those other forms of communication.
Mhm.
Um, but I do
And if
think it is
it's
funny that your brain jumps to like they hated it. They hate me. It wasn't funny just because and the whole point of LOL is to communicate. I'm
I'm
literally
laughing.
laughing out loud at what you said. Yeah.
Right. Right. And I guess I'll give an honorable mention to like I don't even know. You select the text and you put haha or a laughing emoji.
Oh, the react.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
reacts.
yeah,
There we
yeah.
go. I was like
Yeah.
drawing a blank. That I agree. Like those can hit like crack sometimes. No, not really, but just those are good. Those are good. I
The
allow
the
those.
the best is if you're in a group chat and you get multiple people like
Oh,
reacting to your
phenomenal.
message and you're like, I am
Yeah.
popping off right now.
I'm I'm like George Costanza. Well, that's it for me.
Yeah. I can't.
The people who are like fully grammatically correct and use like full sentences with periods, when I get hit with those texts and like I don't really know them, those I'm like, shit, I better like look at a Mad Gibbs or some shit to get my fucking shit right now. When I was first dating Jill and she was typing like that and I was like, oh
I used
fuck.
to as
I was
well.
like, let me
Yep.
let me
I really have to say, I think Jill and I are soulmates on a level because I used to be I used to pride myself on like I send grammatically accurate text messages, and then the years kept coming and they didn't stop coming, and I
Mhm.
realized who cares?
Are
Why
you
am I
hitting me with
putting
a
effort
Smash
into?
Mouth line?
I absolutely did. I'm so glad you caught it. Yes.
I hate
Um,
myself for it, but go ahead.
but yeah, I was putting so much time into text. I'm like, this is negating the
Yeah,
efficiency of text. I might as well get on the phone.
right.
Um, and there are still some things like I'm still a stickler about like there, and there, and those types of things. Because if I see it incorrectly, it makes my brain twitch a little bit.
I just learned that
Um,
last year, so
no, you didn't.
no. No, but it does it did trip me up for a while, like that and the 2 as well, like
Two,
T
two, two,
2 2 2
two,
2,
two.
yeah. I hated that in
Listen,
school.
the English language is rough, and you don't realize all the nuance. I did not notice all of the intricacies and nuances of the English language until I started learning foreign languages.
Okay.
Because like I didn't know what the hell like a gerund was or a participle. Like what the hell? And I learned it through learning foreign languages, and it made me think like, wow, for everyone who English is a second language for, this is not an easy language.
Mhm.
Or even like if you think of the word bear and you think of the word gear, and they're literally spelled the exact same way with different first
Yeah.
letters, but you don't say beer and you don't say gare. It's wild. The English language really is wild.
There's a guy on, I think he's on
I
TikTok.
know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
He's like, "Bear? No,
Yeah.
no."
I love him. I think his content is very funny. Japanese is tough like that too. They have a lot of words that are like,
Interchangeable?
no, they're like an inflection of a vowel off. Like kawaii means
Mhm.
scary,
Right.
kawaii means cute. They're spelled almost the exact same way, they're said
Yikes.
almost the exact same way, but they
Right.
mean completely different things. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I am also a nerd. I love languages. I find them fascinating. So
Mhm.
um it's very interesting, but it is extremely challenging when you're trying to either explain your native language, which you've never had to think about the nuance of,
Right.
or you're trying to learn a new one where they've got all of these wacky, you know, things about them that are very difficult to get the head around when you're trying to learn them.
Yeah, I just wish it was different in schools. Like they offered more
Yeah. Oh,
things
definitely.
like I was pretty good in Spanish later on. Like in high school I was good. In middle school I was so bad in the beginning. I'll never forget this story. I don't know if I told you this one, but it's like it was 7th grade. We took this test and like I did not study. It was a pop quiz, so I had no fucking idea. What a horror pop quizzes are. But
Yeah.
anyway, so I literally was panicking because I could not answer one question. And you're like, the only thing I wrote down was my fucking name and like maybe 3 sentences. So I get the test back. And back then, like, you had to get your parents' signature
To sign
and
it.
stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I get the test back and I had to call my mom. And so I was like, "I gotta tell you this quiz that I got." And she's like, "Okay, like what's wrong?" And I was like, "Well, um, I got an 8 on it, so you gotta sign it." And she's like, "An 8 out of 100?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was a pop quiz. I just really was thrown off. I don't know." It was like that point on, I was like, I elevated myself, but that was a humbling moment.
Pop quizzes should be outlawed, man. There's
Terrible.
no quicker way to give a kid anxiety than to say, "Oh, you have a pop quiz."
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
No, I need time to prepare. What do you mean? Crazy. Uh,
Alright, so this is horror movies week. Let's get
yeah, it's
into
spooky
it.
season. Let's do it.
So, since we're sticking to the 90s theme, we gotta start it off with a bang. So we're gonna go with Steph's favorite movie, not
No,
spoiling, The Sixth Sense.
One of Steph's favorite movies, not her all-time favorite. But definitely in my top. Definitely in my top. We decided that for spooky season, like Brian said, we want to stick with the 90s, but we also wanted to really highlight genre changing and defining iconic movies of the 90s. And you would be remiss to do a horror movie homage of the 90s and not give flowers to The Sixth Sense. It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it is a masterclass in storytelling, in suspense. And why we kind of called it genre defining is because maybe it wasn't the first ever,
Mhm.
but this really put M. Night Shyamalan on the map regarding twist endings.
Yeah.
Like endings that freaking ran you over like a train because you didn't see them coming. And while M. Night is not the only, like, he doesn't have a trademark on these endings,
I think it
he
really set
was,
yeah. It
yeah,
set it
this set
off.
him apart from people in the 90s, and it really ignited the trend throughout the rest of the late 90s and the early aughts and beyond.
Yeah. And I
So
mean, listen, there's probably like a ton of great movies with twists, but this movie for that time period, just I feel like it was like Game of Thrones. Like everybody
yeah,
was
oh
talking
yeah.
about it. Uh,
Before we get into, like, our themes and our discussion, I remember my parents went to see this with my favorite aunt and uncle growing up in the movie theater. And my sister, my cousin, and I, we weren't old, and obviously it was PG-13, and we were like, I don't know, younger than that. So we couldn't go. And we were just excited because we were like, hell yeah, we get to have a sleepover, we get to hang out. I wouldn't have really thought much else about the movie, but then my parents wanted to watch it on TV one night, and I
mhm,
was starting to come into my, like, spooky identity, and I was really starting to get into horror movies, so I asked my parents, I'm like, "Well, can I watch it now that it's not in theaters?"
mhm.
And they decided that it wasn't so brutal.
Yeah. I don't think it
If
is,
you,
but yeah.
no, it's not. There's not a ton by the way of gore. Like, there are some gory moments, if you will, but it's not a slasher movie. There's no real, like, nudity or sexual content, which if you
Yeah.
think of like your Halloweens, your Friday the 13th, that was big in 80s slashers.
Yeah, yeah.
So they deemed it fine for me to watch with them with parental supervision. And when I tell you, when the ending happened, like the big reveal at the end, which we will unpack, I don't even remember starting to cry or get emotional. I just remember my dad, like, putting his hand on my shoulder and he's like, "Are you okay?"
Mhm,
And my mouth was just open and I was bawling my eyes out.
mhm.
Um, Now, granted, I was a very emotional kid, so that probably painted a little of this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I told you last night when we were rewatching, from probably the last like 15 minutes of the movie, I usually cry from that scene with Cole and his mom in the car all the way through the end because it's just so emotional and powerful.
Mhm.
And the first time you see it, it genuinely, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet and you watch it now, there's no doubt in my mind this movie's been spoiled for you already, so it might not hit
100%.
quite the same.
Yeah.
But I stand by, even if you know the ending, it still packs a punch when you actually see how it unfolds. And the movie is just it's well written, it's well acted, it's compelling. So all around, I think it's a great movie. I think that ending put it on the map as an iconic horror movie for sure.
Mhm.
Um, but unfortunately for you all, I could talk about this movie for a year. I love it so much. So I'm gonna kind of cut myself off here. Brian, you want to kick us off with ratings? If I
Yeah.
remember
Mhm.
correctly, this is universally well rated.
Yeah, for the most part. The one thing I'll say with M. Night is like this movie both exploded him, put him on the map, gave him all the opportunities, but it was like a gift and a curse like the
Yes.
perfect definition of a gift and a curse because
Yep.
like
Yep. Because it
everybody was
also
expecting
defined
it.
him. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I agree. I agree.
All right, so the ratings, Rotten Tomatoes is 86%, popcorn is 90%,
Hell yeah.
Metacritic is the lowest, is 64.
Oh, wow.
Considered passable, I think it said. Um, user score is 8.4 and IMDb is 8.2 out of 10. So yeah, pretty high numbers, especially for
For a horror, that's like
horror-esque, yeah.
very good. Yeah.
Right.
I have to say, I've seen this movie many, many times. And it was a really emotional watch when we watched it last night because of just how powerful Bruce Willis was and like knowing all that he's going through and struggling with health wise now.
Yeah.
I don't know, it made it even more emotional for me to watch.
Right.
Because he was in his prime when this movie came out for sure.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, and don't forget my girl Toni Collette also. That was
Right.
like the big 3 of this movie. Um but yeah, you want me to do quick
Yeah.
plot?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. I don't think I need to say this.
Right.
If you've not, this movie came out in 1999. If
Yeah.
you don't already know what's happened in this movie,
Mhm.
I really, there will be spoilers ahead. If you are still, for some reason, trying to preserve not knowing anything about the movie, this
Yeah.
might be where you want to kind of duck out and then tune in once you've seen, but that's your warning.
I was gonna say, for me, the I See Dead People was ruined, but what wasn't ruined was spoiler was Bruce Willis. So I'll at least take that. Mhm.
Oh my God. All right. So let's do a quick run through here. So, movie opens up. You meet Dr. Malcolm Crowe and his wife Anna. They are celebrating some award Dr. Malcolm has won from I think it was the mayor or whatever.
Yeah,
He is
something like.
like, he is intended to be portrayed as like a prolific psychologist, like a child psychologist.
Mhm.
So they're celebrating him winning some award, they're having fancy wine, whatever. And then they hear a noise in their bedroom bathroom. And normally I would not get this detailed into the plot, but this is important. So they hear a noise in their upstairs bathroom. They go to check it out. Turns out one of Malcolm's old patients, who is now an adult and clearly an unwell adult, has broken into the house. Donnie Wahlberg, right, of all friggin' people. Um, so he's basically telling Bruce Willis, "You never helped me. Like you said it was going to stop. You said I was going to get better. I didn't." Um, Donnie Wahlberg, I have to. They give this man like 5 minutes of screen time. He
Yeah.
is a powerhouse in those five. His scene is so chilling,
Yeah.
and it's profoundly disturbing in that like that could happen for
Mhm.
real. And
Oh yeah.
I have many wonderful, talented friends in the mental health and the counseling and the social work space,
Right.
and I have so much profound respect for what they do because that is not an unrealistic job hazard. I'll say that could really happen. And I think Donnie Wahlberg makes it feel extremely real, which
Mhm.
is like the movie starts off on an unsettling foot because of this. But
Yeah.
anyway, so Donnie Wahlberg is going on this whole thing. You said you would help me, you never helped me, you failed me, and then he shoots Bruce Willis, and he shoots himself.
Mhm.
He shoots himself in the head. So obviously the
Easy.
implication is he is deceased. But Bruce Willis is telling his wife, like, no, I think the bullet went in and out. I think everything's fine. And then you fast forward. I don't think they give a time frame. They just tell you you're in South
Yeah. They
Philadelphia.
they go next fall.
Yeah.
Um which why would you, if you were the wife, would you stay in that house?
No,
Af
absolutely
Yeah.
not. No.
Like I
No.
I don't
I
know.
wouldn't stay in the same state. No way.
Yeah. It's
I'd be
like
Audi 5000. No.
right.
But that is really the setup to show you
Mhm.
that one of the things that you learn about Dr. Malcolm as the movie plays out is that he's kind of haunted by not having been able to help this guy
Yes.
after this encounter with him in his house. And, the next scene, this next fall, he's introduced to Haley Joel Osment's character, Cole.
Yeah.
And basically, without jumping all that far ahead,
Mhm.
his mission with helping Cole is to kind of heal himself and heal the fact that he felt that he couldn't help Donnie Wahlberg's character. He thinks if he can fix Cole and help get him to a better place, it will almost atone for the past where he felt like he couldn't help his other patient. So he kind of spends the first couple scenes just observing Cole. It's like he's there in the background. He's kind of trying to canvas him, learn about him because he's a young kid.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
the implication I think is he's in like middle school.
Mhm.
So you got to figure somewhere between the ages of what, like 8 and 12. I don't
I would
know,
say, yeah,
somewhere
because
in that range. And then you are later introduced to Cole's whole family dynamic, which includes his mom, who is played by the just absolute, just super talented, super powerful Toni Collette, who I love. And she's a single mom. Dad left. They talk about that. They allude to that throughout the movie. And you can tell they're at their wits' end. They are struggling in more ways than one. Um, and throughout Dr. Malcolm's time trying to break through with Cole and figure out what is going on with this kid, like what is troubling him, why is he acting out? Because
Mhm.
there are illusions that he acts out in school. Maybe he's not the most well behaved.
Right.
Um, there's that iconic scene in the kitchen when Toni Collette is making him breakfast and then all the cabinets are opening. So, like, something is
Yeah.
very clearly up with this kid and with his family and whatever. Um, so in his first meeting, Dr. Malcolm kind of gets out of Cole, like, you have a secret, but you're not ready to tell me yet. And that is affirmed. So a lot of the runtime of the movie, and I think what gets you so invested in these characters is it's really watching the relationship and the trust building
Mhm.
between Cole and Malcolm.
Yeah.
And, watching Cole sort of get more comfortable with him and then open up to him. Um, and all the while you're watching Toni Collette just kill it caring for her kid, but knowing that something is going on with him, something is troubling him, and he won't open up to her either.
Yeah.
So,
And I think M. Night does, like, such a good job at, like, switching between scenes and, like,
yes.
character dialogue. So, like, you're not on the, like, "Oh, wait, something is up here." Like,
Yeah.
after you
Yep.
know the twist, like, when you go back, you're like, "Okay, like, this is" yeah, like, Bruce Willis clearly only has dialogue with,
Cole.
Cole the whole time.
Yep. Yep. But really, everything comes to a head when Cole goes to a classmate's birthday party.
Yeah.
And, we'll talk about this later too, but M. Night Shyamalan uses the color red very
Yeah.
effectively in this movie to kind of indicate like something's not right here.
Right,
So
right.
Cole's at this party. Poor Cole is bullied relentlessly at school. He really doesn't have any friends. The kid even says like, "Oh, my dad made me invite him." Like it's very obvious that he's kind of the black sheep of his class. He doesn't really
Yeah.
fit in anywhere just yet, but he ends up following this staircase because he hears someone talking, and you hear someone talking, and it's like, what is going on? Um,
What do they call those
and
things? Door waiters? Or what is like
dumb waiters.
dumb waiters, yeah.
Yeah. So ultimately, he goes up to the dumb waiter or the whatever it was, and he's obviously like chill to the core because he hears something. And the two bullies, Tommy Tomasimo, who is an asshole, and this
Yeah.
kid Derek, whose birthday it was, whatever, they go up and they shove him in this closet dumbwaiter thing that he is obviously terrified of.
Terrified, yeah. Piece
And
of shit
then
kids. Yeah.
the worst. Tony Collette hears him screaming, goes and gets him out. Then fast forward, you're in a hospital. M. Night makes his iconic cameo in the movie. He's the doctor talking to Tony Collette, and you see that Malcolm is in the hospital room with Cole. And he's telling him some whacked out bedtime story, and it's actually a very sweet moment. And then Cole tells Dr. Malcolm that he is ready to tell him his secret. And that is when you get the iconic I see dead people um, all the time. They're everywhere. They don't know they're dead. And all the while, you can see like Bruce Willis is trying to work through this. Like, how in the fuck do I? That is not what I was expecting this kid to say to me. Um,
Which is
so
also interesting because it's like he could have waited until the very end of the movie to say that
yeah,
and then have Bruce Willis figure it out, but like I thought it was
but
interesting. It was like, yeah.
that's what makes it so genius, baby, is
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
tell you what the twist is an hour before they show you what it is. And that is why, I'm not saying M. Night Shyamalan has not made movies I didn't love, but the
Right.
man is brilliant when it comes to storytelling because he literally told us what the whole shtick of this movie was, but you're so wrapped up in this is this kid's doctor, and then you learn that Donnie Wahlberg's character said the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Because once Cole kind of opens up to Bruce Willis about this, he
Mhm.
starts going back and listening to these old recorded sessions, and he's like, "Oh my God, he told me the same thing." And then he starts to like hear things in the tape, and he's like, "Oh my, holy crap!" Like it's the same case basically. So
Yeah,
the
that's what
im-
this rewatch I got back to you. You said this point earlier is like it really does. I was like, oh, this is like really a redemption arc of
Mhm.
Malcolm, and
Yep,
like I yeah.
yep. So the part that's most memorable to me is when he's listening to one of his tapes and he's like, "Oh, it's cold in here or whatever."
Mm.
And and it keeps rewinding. And the first time you watch it, all you hear is Bruce Willis going, "Ooh, it's cold in here," like 12 times. And it's like, "Brother, what are we doing?"
Right.
But you can tell like he thinks he hears something. And then when he turns the volume all the way up, you hear somebody whispering no quiero morir, I don't want to die in the background in Spanish. And that's when you realize, like, holy shit, there are ghosts among us. Like, it's again another moment of like, yeah, they told us this that this kid sees dead people, and there's probably other kids who do too. But that was the moment it became real for Bruce Willis. So he decides that instead of kind of like writing it off and dismissing it, which is implied that's what he did with this other kid who he says failed him ultimately,
Mhm.
he's going to try to help Cole understand how to, like, if this is something that you're dealing with, how do we deal with it in a productive way? And, Malcolm asks him, "Do you know what no quiero morir means?"
Mm.
And he's like, "No." So he tells him it means I don't want to die. He's like, "I think these ghosts might be coming to you for a reason."
Yeah, for help.
Um, for help, right.
Yeah.
And then throughout the movie, once this reveal happens, you start to see some of these ghosts. And sometimes, like when the temperature drops real low and you can see the breath, they're
Mhm.
angry and they're
Yeah.
they're hostile, like the woman in his kitchen who
Mhm.
talks about Nettie, the terrible husband. Like he's in the bathroom and you see his breath, and then you see her walk by. And you kind of start to pick up on cold means that they're going through it. They're either angry or they're upset or something
Something is
is
happening. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Um Whereas like when the kid comes out who, he says, "Let me show you where my dad keeps his gun," and the implication is he had an accident, he passed away because of it. There's
Yeah.
no cold, there's no temperature change because he's just a kid like kind of
Yeah.
stuck in limbo between life and the afterlife. But you see these little interactions, and it isn't until Misha Barton throwing up in his tent in his room
Right.
that he decides he's going to take Malcolm's advice and try to help this ghost, this spirit, whatever you want to say. And that ends up being one of the most
Yeah, the
depressing moments in the whole fucking movie because you learn that the reason she's throwing up and the reason she died is because her mom's been poisoning her for years.
Yeah,
Um,
insane.
it's awful, but the way Cole helps her is by showing her dad this and kind of giving her the closure of knowing that her story doesn't vanish just because she did, and they'll it maybe would save her little sister, there would be justice, whatever. Um and it's once Malcolm helps Cole do that that he
Mhm.
kind of decides, my work here is done. I've helped you, you get it, we're in a good spot. And one of the beautiful things, like the Malcolm Cole storyline kind of ends with Malcolm going to see him in this play where he ends up getting like a leading role and all of his classmates are cheering for him.
Right.
And, Malcolm kind of gets the redemption of knowing I didn't fail this time. I helped this kid. I did something good. You kind of watch Cole get the hero's journey of going from not fitting in, not really having a place in the world,
Not really wanting
to
to go to school.
yeah, to kind
Yeah.
of like growing into himself and growing to accept who he is and therefore being accepted by other people.
Mhm.
And then you get to the last freaking 10 minutes of this movie, which so Tony Collette and Haley Joel Osment in the car.
Mhm.
I literally said to you last night, I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna cry. And of course I did.
It got you.
This is basically the scene where Cole tells his mom that infamously, I'm ready to communicate with you now. And he tells her basically they're sitting in car accident traffic, and his mom had said at one point, "Oh, I hope nobody got hurt."
Hmm.
So he decides the way he's going to tell his mom he sees dead people is by saying,
I
you
see.
said you hope nobody hurt. Somebody did get hurt. A lady, she died. And then Tony Collette's like, "What? Like, can you see that from here?" And he goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, where is she?" And he says, "Standing outside of my window."
Yikes.
And then he basically goes on to have this incredibly powerful moment where he tells Toni Collette that her mother, his grandmother, who she is clearly grieving throughout the movie,
Mhm.
comes to visit him sometimes, and he starts to resolve some things for Toni Collette that there's no way this kid would know
Right.
unless what he was saying is true. So he talks about a fight they had when they were little and a dance recital Toni Collette thought she didn't go to, but she did. Like, we're talking when his mother was a kid. There is no way Cole could have known this.
Mhm.
And then when he says, like, when you go to her grave, she said you asked a question and her answer is every day. And at this point, Toni Collette's bawling, I'm bawling, we're all bawling our eyes out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he asks, he's like, what's the question? And she says, do I make her proud?
Mhm.
And again, it's a moment of closure. You get a lot of really nice, not a lot of loose ends in this story. Like everything kind of gets resolved in a meaningful and complete way.
Yeah.
So you get to see Malcolm and Cole's arc end. Now you kind of get to see that he's in this place with his mother where he feels comfortable enough to share this.
Mhm.
And she is accepting of him regardless of what he's telling her. And then the moment we've all been waiting for. So throughout this movie, Bruce Willis obviously has tension with his wife Anna. Like he shows up late to their anniversary dinner. She doesn't even acknowledge him, pays the bill without saying a word to him.
Mhm.
There's a weird moment. So she sells jewelry in like a boutique type shop. There's a
Yeah.
moment where she's with a male coworker. It looks like they're about to have like a kiss or some kind of passionate moment.
Weird scene. Yeah.
You hear somebody
Yeah.
break the window. They don't really tell you Bruce Willis did it, but you see him walking away, so it's implied.
Yeah.
Um, but every night when he goes home, his wedding video is playing.
Mm.
So it's obvious she still cares deeply
Still
about
grieving.
him. Right. There's just a wedge.
Yeah.
And you quickly find out what that wedge is. So she's watching the wedding video, and Bruce Willis is like talking to her because he Cole actually suggests if you're having problems with your wife, why don't you talk to her when she's sleeping? So
Hmm.
he goes home and he does that. And she's talking back and saying, like, why did you leave me? And he's like, I didn't. And all of a sudden, his wedding ring falls out of her hand and onto the floor. And he lifts his hand and realizes he's not wearing it. So, as an audience, I'm getting like emotional thinking about this. As an
Yeah.
audience member, you're like, has he, was he not wearing his wedding ring the whole movie? And I never noticed that. So,
Yeah.
that kind of distracts you for a minute. And then they flash back to goddamn Haley Joel Osment in the hospital bed saying, I see dead people, and talking you through the whole thing about they don't know they're dead. They're
Hmm.
walking around, and Bruce Willis relives the night he got shot, and you realize he did fucking, in fact, die that night. And this whole fucking time, you've
He
been
was
watching
dead.
a dead man
Hmm.
interact with this kid who happens to have the gift of being able to communicate with the dead.
Right.
Um, And again, the breathing thing. So anytime anyone is around Bruce Willis, like the temperature doesn't drop, no one's seeing their breath, nothing like that.
Hmm.
When he's kind of working out in his head, like, holy fucking shit, I'm dead. You see Anna, she gets all flushed, her breath starts
Her breath
showing because,
starts coming. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then like once he kind of makes peace with everything, he goes and tells her basically like it's okay to let go. Go to sleep now. Everything will be different in the morning because he's finally going to let go.
Hmm.
And then the movie fucking ends.
Yeah.
Um and I got to tell you, I have seen it so many times and it still hits. It still hits for me.
Hmm.
I was lucky that I didn't have the ending spoiled for me before I saw it because I saw it when it was still relatively new and I was still young. Like there was there was no Reddit, there was no YouTube commentary. Like it was, I didn't have the opportunity to have it spoiled before I saw it. But just everything about it is so well done. And there are moments where it really does like chill. I wouldn't call it scary in things are jumping out at me, things are giving me fright or anything, but it is chilling. It definitely gets to you. It gets inside your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Um and I absolutely love it.
Especially if you experience like grief in that kind of way. Not in, I mean, yeah.
I think grief makes for a good plot device in horror movies, not just because, we think about people dying in horror, they come back as a ghost, they come back as a zombie, they're a poltergeist, they're haunting a house, whatever. But there's also just something about the way grief impacts the person grieving the loss that is horror in its own way. And watching somebody kind of go through that and work through that, that can be very sad and scary and powerful stuff all by itself. Um, but I mean, you have to put grief as a top theme in this movie. It's impossible not
Yeah.
to.
Oh yeah, it's relatable on a lot of levels because of so like it's all different kinds of grief. You
Right.
know, whether it's just like the father leaving Cole, or just like the loss of an old like a parent, or the loss of a spouse. Like it's kind of hitting you in different kinds of ways.
Absolutely. Yep.
And I really like. I think on this rewatch, what I really did like is the fact that of understanding more of the redemption arc of Malcolm, and kind of seeing it all come full circle, and just being like was stuck in the in between because of how he left the situation, and like failing that other patient. My favorite line, this is like off topic, but I loved when he was like, keep it moving, cheese dick. Like to the guy that was like
To
talking
the
to his
guy, yeah.
wife.
Yeah.
So some fun facts here.
Yeah, let's do it.
It got 6 nominations in the Oscars. Didn't win
Really,
it. Yeah, didn't win any, but
horror
it
almost
actually
never does.
it did put it on the map for like horror and suspense, like to take it seriously. So it got nominated for Best Picture, Director, Supporting Actor, which was Haley Joel Osment, who uh He's like one of the youngest to ever get nominated
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
award. Supporting actress for Toni Collette, original screenplay, and best editing.
That's
Didn't win any, but that's
I I
still
mean,
good.
definitely deserving of the nominations. The editing was fantastic, the acting was fantastic.
Yeah.
And we talked about this with another, I don't remember if it was a horror movie per se, but this wasn't one of those horror movies with no name actors in it. Like Bruce Willis and Toni Collette were gets in the 90s
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Mm.
Um, I'm actually sad to hear it didn't win any of them, but it is like you said, that was probably one of the first times that a movie of that style or genre got nominations like that and got taken seriously. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to see like what did win in '99 because the only thing that's coming to mind is like The Matrix. I think that was '99, right?
Oh, was it? You
I
might be right.
think
You might be
so.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I was like, the M Night Shyamalan's use of the color red just to indicate supernatural elements, like the red doorknob, Cole's red
Yep.
sweater, things like that.
The red
Uh,
balloon.
yeah, the red
If
balloon.
you noticed, Anna is wearing red in almost every scene in the movie as well. In the jewelry shop, she's got on like a
Mm.
red shawl. At her anniversary dinner, she has a red dress on. So
Oh, good
she,
point.
it just in general is almost always in red. Toni Collette wears red on a couple occasions too. Um, so yeah,
He did
it's
have
definitely
a
one of those
hint.
things that once you know it, if you go back and watch, you're like, oh yeah, obviously. Duh.
Yeah, because even like we had said it before, it was like Willis only, Malcolm only interacts with Cole, which like when you kind of think about it, it's like why is his psychiatrist just following him around like wherever
Yeah.
he goes, and
Doesn't
like
he have something better to do?
never
Yeah.
once talks to the mom either. Like that's So this one was, I think, the most interesting. Was so Bruce Willis was getting had a $17.5 million lawsuit against him from Disney because he was working on this movie Broadway Brawler and things went wrong and a lot of the blame was on him. So Disney
Weird.
threw a lawsuit at him. So in order to like make a deal, he made a deal essentially to star in the next 3 upcoming Disney films to make that work out, and that happened to be Armageddon, Sixth Sense, and The Kid. So that's what brought
Really?
on this. Yeah,
Oh,
I thought
that
that
I
was
didn't
it.
realize.
Yeah,
I did not realize this was a Disney property either.
it's Disney's like now they have 20th Century Fox, but it's like one of their
Oh, it's like a
other.
one of the sister or daughter
Yeah.
companies or whatever. Okay, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
The Disney executive David Vogel, I think his name is, who actually bought the script for Sixth Sense, was fired for buying it. So that was interesting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. Donnie Wahlberg lost 43 pounds to play the role of Vincent Gray because he wanted to prove
I
that he was a serious actor after New
I
Kids on the
mean,
Block.
I said it earlier. I thought he was awesome. He had such little screen time, but he made an impact for sure.
I didn't even know it
Um,
was him. Like, the 43 pounds really did do something. But
yeah, for sure, for sure.
the last things I got here is Michael Cera actually auditioned for the role of Cole.
Get
Yeah.
out of here. I cannot even picture that. I can't. And I love Michael Cera, but I can't picture that.
I can't either. And Marissa Tomei was almost Cole's mom. Colette was conflicted on the role because she really wanted to be in Scorsese's Bringing Out the Dead movie.
Huh. I mean, I'm glad she was in this one because I thought she was
She was great. Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Um, and I mean, she's dabbled in many a supernatural grief movie in the years to come. So I don't know. She plays the role extremely well, and
Mhm.
I it's probably because I am so attached to this movie and it is one of my favorites. I can't imagine the cast being any different
Mhm.
than it is.
Yeah, of course.
I can't.
Yeah. Michael
Yeah.
Cera with his banana stands. Just
Don't be such
uh,
an Anhawk.
um, I mean, I don't think we need to. I guess we can rate this, but I think it's kind of pretty clear. No pun
It's
intended.
a clear.
But
It is what
yeah,
a Scorcher. Scorcher was the one that's better than Clears. This is a Scorcher for
yeah,
me. I absolutely love this movie. So many things about this movie transcend it just being a horror movie or a scary movie. Ugh, it's a scorcher, baby. I've got to stop talking about it because I just can't. But it is so. If you haven't seen it, and I know a lot of people in my life have said, I already know the ending. There's no point in seeing that movie. I promise you, there is a point, even if you know how it ends. Which, if you've made it this far, you obviously already do.
yeah.
Um,
If you
but
haven't seen
this,
it and it hasn't been spoiled, yeah, definitely watch it. And I mean, if you listen to this episode, it's ruined for you. So,
yeah, 100%,
uh,
100%. All right, but
the
I made my rating clear. What yours?
I okay, so I will give it a clear skies because it is well done. I
It's
think
a
my
win for
issue,
me.
the issue I have is like movies like this that have such a like the crazy twist. Once you know, for me, it's like harder to give like the rewatch value on it. You know, like I
Okay.
don't. That's kind of how I like. I'm trying to think of another example. It's
Saw
just
is probably one I could think of. Like
yeah,
once you see the ending of Saw, you will never see them wake up in that room with the guy on the floor the same way again because you know what
right.
it is and who it is. Right. For me, I think part of the fun of rewatching it ties back into some of those fun facts you said, like starting to pick up on the use of red and what does it mean, and that
Yeah,
was in my face the whole time. Or like rewatching the scene where Cole tells Malcolm, I see dead people, and realize the camera's on Bruce Willis the whole time. The
yeah.
whole time. But yeah, that's it. That is
That's our first
our
one here.
kickoff to spooky season. Yeah.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We have our next couple episodes are all horror themed to go along with our Halloween theme here. So this is pumpkin, pumpkin and possibilities. I was doing a little too much merging on the words here. Pumpkin and possibilities. We are out of here. See ya.